I had an experience. I came home one day and they told me this in advance, but my Spanish wasn't too great at the time, so I still wasn't really clear on what was going to happen. But my host mom's husband had passed away about 14 years earlier, and her father about a year before that. And she told me that we were gonna move the bones. I think it might have been a cultural thing, but I think it also might have been that the crypt was like broken or something. So I was like, okay. I got back from work and she was like, all right, let's go. We go to the graveyard and my uncles are there like picking away at the concrete around the crypt. And they break it open and they pull out the coffins. And I'm like, all right, from here we go and bury it somewhere, right? And then one of my uncles comes back from his car with two little boxes. And so we have these two coffins out with these two little boxes, and I'm trying to like piece it together, like, why do we have these two little boxes? Because we're just gonna go bury the coffin somewhere else, right?
False.
But then I realized that she said, we're moving the bones. She didn't say we're moving the coffins. And sure enough, they open them up. And in our culture, in the American culture, that's not really anything they do. Like, we don't see dead bodies, like, ever. Like, it's just not something that happens. And they were just like, yeah, like, they acknowledged it. They were like, yeah, it's fail, like, it's ugly, but, like, it's life. And I thought that was really cool, and I was just like, but, well, at the same time, I was just like, what's going on? Like, God, like, it looks like the movies, it really does. Just insider's note. And so I was like freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, this is like I'm not squeamish. Like, I didn't think it was like gross or anything. It was just like one of those moments where you're like, yeah, like this is not my culture. Like, this is something completely different. And so I wrote the spoken word about that. The day after Obama won his second term in office, I saw my first dead body. The bones intact, the flesh in fact dirt. Turns out when we die, our eyes go first, followed by our brains, our insides. Nothing soft is left unchanged. That is true of me too, I'd say. But at one point I'd also claim I was a Democrat. But I'm not so sure anymore. It's hard to think in red, white, and blue anymore because I'm trying to think in Spanish, dream in Latin. Although I'd settle for Latino, yo no soy tonta, solo confundida. Explícame, por favor, ¿qué hago en esta vida if my organs play me hide and seek y mi corazón está perdido? They tell me that everything I need is already inside of me. Like peace is something you can just unwedge between your liver and your gallbladder. Like serenity is just an upchuck away, but when I reach in to pull it out, I end up turning inside out. And all I find are keys that don't go to anything. My emotions are locks that have always been there, rusted and rocking back and forth in a wind that never blows open windows, it only shuts them close. I've spent so long trying to crack the code and change up my soft parts, and people have the nerve to ask me if I'm wearing the key to my heart. A key. They wear their hearts on their sleeves every damn day. But in my culture, they can't even do it when they're dead. I used to want to know what it was like to die. I used to want to die just to know what's on the other side. Curiosity killed the cat, and while I've never been partial towards fish, I thought it'd be delicious just to peek through the curtain, pull a serious black, but then come back like I always thought he would until the very last book. You have no idea how pissed I was at J.K. Rowling for that one. But I am too afraid of death's hooks and wires. I think Dante was a liar, but that doesn't make feel better, because I'd rather be sure of my suffering than unsure of any further existence. My culture made me, and made us so terrified of piecing out, even though we search for peace hidden under yoga mats, etch into our skin, insist our ethnicity is anything but Caucasian, because at least the Asians are content in their passing. But if you ask any American ghost, they'll tell you, this is a mix-up. God done fucked up, because I haven't died. No, my family needs me. Maybe there's a way back. Maybe I'll go home. We don't want to rest in death any more than we do in life. And when we get there, we want that shit to be pretty. Death never goes without mascara in America, but I don't want to die like a Barbie. I'd rather die like a giant fucking eel, being eaten away by vultures on the beach, so at least the children are scared there are more of me in the sea. I'd like to leave behind something that crumbles, be taken apart by the earth. I didn't see a dead body, the corpse saw me first. Every time there was a closed casket funeral. Every time I closed my eyes during the movie. Every time I put on the disguise of someone who completely understands why her uncles brought that crowbar to the crypt. And when I die, they'll shake the bones out of my sleeves and socks. They'll put me in a box, because I'm never going to be whole again. Laid to rest in the four corners that are so much smaller than I was in life. And that's the funny thing about death, you see. It's like a washing machine that shrinks it all, including your favorite sweater, your underwear, and any good thing you ever did in your life. At least my old clothes might keep someone warm at night, but the few good things I've done won't help anyone in 14 years. Maybe these people won't even remember us. Maybe that's what we're all really afraid of.